of a GUI object or text of an object changes, RFT can still find it at the time of playback. Then it goes beyond the record and playback of the user interaction. It's not just about record and playback, but it allows a lot of wizards to help even less technical users to build verifications and data-driven tests. So you don't need, it is not just a tool for people who understand the language and have good technical skills, but even the less technical users can also use this tool to create complex tests by adding verifications and data-driven commands. And at the same time, it provides the developers and more advanced testers the ability to work with the script code directly using the choice of the Java and VB.NET language based on their preference. So if you like Java language, you have an option to choose Java scripting. If you are comfortable in VB.NET technology, then you can choose to use VB.NET scripting as an option for developing your test cases. Let's move on to the next slide, which is slide number 5. So this slide basically displays the core capabilities of RFT, right? It defines the 3-step process which is generally used for creating the automated test. So the top, you have the basic steps for creating of the automated test. The first step is record, in which we capture the user actions. Second step is enhance. Though it is not a mandatory step, but majority of time it is used or practiced by the testers to make the test more robust and resilient and easy to maintain. And the last step is about execute, wherein the tool simulates the user actions as it was performed during the time of recording in the execution environment. The report results, though we do not count it inside this 3-step process, but we definitely cannot ignore it, because without reporting results, without telling whether the test has been passed or failed, just by executing the test in the same manner doesn't help. You need to have proper data in the reports so that you can confirm the quality of the application which you are delivering to your customers. Right? Now, supporting the scripts, RFT allows customers to decouple the scripts from the script itself, and that happens with the help of the data pools, right? Which you, as you can see just below the script creation line. So the data pool allows customers to store the data used in the scripts, and it keeps the data separate from your automated scripts, right? So what are the benefits that you get out of it? This basically allows data to be reused by the same script to test different conditions. For example, you probably can use the same employee data for creation of the employment record. At the same time, you can use the same employee data if you want to modify or you want to delete an employee, right? Now, moving below that, you will see that reusable test scripts can be created in the rational functional tester. So by reusable test scripts are nothing but, in some cases it is also known as keywords, and keywords can be seen by all testers and can be used to build new scripts. So it basically offers another way to increase the productivity. So you can develop your tests in a much faster pace compared to if you create end-to-end scenario kind of thing for every scenario. For example, let's say create an employee, or maybe placing an order on Flipkart, right? So login could be one activity which you need to do. Similarly, if you are canceling it or if you are modifying something, again a login is the same activity, right? So you can create login as a keyword which can be reused among all the test cases. So your effort is reduced now. Not all testers need to automate the login scenario. At the same time, if your application is changed, if your login is changed, right? So you need to modify only the keyword, and the changes will automatically propagate down to all the scripts that utilize that keyword. Right? So it becomes very easy to maintain these scripts also. And at the bottom line shows the technology supported by RFT. It is not the concrete or complete list of what all we support. There are a lot of other things like PDF, Flex, etc., which are not mentioned. But at a broad category level, it is being covered as part of web applications. You have Java applications, which includes your all Eclipse, SWT, Swing, etc. Packaged applications like SAP, Siebel, terminal-based applications, green screens applications. So those are covered as part of terminal-based applications. Then coming to .NET Word, you have all .NET 1.1, 2.0, WPF, Silverlight is supported. Yeah, I think pretty much I've covered. PDF is another area which is supported. It supports Windows, which is not mentioned here. So you can see in the important link section, there are a lot of links available wherein you can see the complete list of technologies supported by the RFT. So let's move on to slide number 6. Okay, I'm actually parallelly trying to see if my network is also up or running. Okay, so let's now drill down to the each stages, because today we are talking about automating manual tests using RFT, right? So first step, as we discussed, is recording an automated script. So recording is basically you start a recorder and you start performing actions with your application. So all the actions which a user is performing during the recording time is monitored by the RFT recorder, and it tries to make sense out of it in the terms that what is the real intent of the user when it is performing an action or interacting with a GUI object on the application. For example, when you are performing a click on a button, so what is your intent basically? So if you are selecting a combo box, it's not just about clicking in a GUI object, but basically you are trying to make a selection, right? So it really tries to capture the intent out of it and convert them into some meaningful methods, right? And once the recorder is stopped by the tester, the recording session, it will automatically convert all these actions into a meaningful script, which can later be enhanced with the by adding more robust logic if you want. At the same time, there are a couple of other tools which are available during the recording time itself, though it can be also done at the enhanced stage. That is that you can add verification points. You find a label or something which you want to validate at the time of playback. For example, a message got conveyed by the application, and you want to really validate whether the message is coming correctly or not when I'm entering this kind of input. So those messages can be validated with the help of verification points, and during the recording time itself, user can insert verification points with the help of the wizards. Similarly, you can also do data-driven testing. So we will go in details about data-driven testing, but just to introduce it. So when we do a test, right, we don't want to do a test for a single input value. We want to do it for, we want to reuse the same test or same function for multiple types of data, right? So that helps in creating in testing different types of scenarios. And during recording time itself, you have a data-driven wizard which is available, which can be used to data driver test in a very easily wizard form. Moving on to the next slide. So before really going into the data-driven testing, let's look at some problems that we face during testing, right? So that will help us to understand this data-driven testing better. So let's assume that I want to record a test which basically creates a personal file for a new employee, right? And I create a new employee by providing, let's say, PAN card, or maybe, yeah, I think PAN card is fine, right? So I started my recorder, I interacted with the application to enter the PAN card and all other employee details, and then I closed my recording session. So recorder has given me a script. Now when I'm going to rerun the same script again, it's again going to enter the same PAN card, right? And my application is not going to accept it because PAN card is a unique thing. You cannot create an employee with two employees with the same PAN card, right? So that's the problem. Similarly, at the time of deletion, if you are deleting, you have recorded something, now if you want to play back, you cannot delete an already existing record. So the idea here is that you created a test for a particular employee, but you want to run it for different employees, right? So how can you do this? It can be done with the help of data-driven testing. So data-driven testing basically is a means of varying input data during a test run without changing the code manually, right? And it puts a abstraction layer between the data and the test script, and eliminating the literal values which we put in the script, right? And now because your data is separated from the test script, we can get a lot of benefits out of it. The first benefit which I see from this is that you can modify the test data without affecting the test script. So test script is created. I just need to add new records without even impacting my test script. So my test script might be maintained in some change control or some source control management, but I do not have to create change sets again and again in order to change. I can simply keep it outside. Similarly, I can add new test cases. For example, I can have different employee types, right? I could have a different scenarios based on that. I can generate different scenarios. So by adding new test cases, I can create new, by adding new data, I can create new test cases without modifying the test script. Similarly, I can share my test data, right, with many scripts. So as I said, you have two test cases. One is creation of an employee and other is deletion of the employee. You can have one input data and you can feed this data to both the test cases, right? So that's another test cases. And what data-driven testing does is basically, it is done with the help of data pool. As you can see on the screen also, where these are generally the objects which are generally modified or which user provides input to the application.
Nitin, I'm sorry to interrupt. I hope I'm on the right slide. Slide number 7, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Yeah. Every time while you are asking me to move on, if you could also tell me the headline of the slide, that would be better. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. Thank you. Okay. So as you can see, I mentioned that during recording time also, you can RFT allows the less technical savvy tester to add this complex data-driven testing commands, right? So it's just once you take your, launch the wizard and take it onto the GUI object, it brings up this data-driven wizard, which you can see on the screen, which actually shows what all objects you can data drive. So as I said, this is nothing but the objects which you can input, right? So it could be your text boxes, combo boxes. These are selected by RFT, but it's up to you that power is given to the end user that he wants to do all the objects. You want to data drive all the objects, or you want to data drive only specific objects. So in a single click, you can do all that stuff. Right? So what is the advantage which you're getting here? That you can save a lot of time, as you do not have to do manual enhancement on the scripts or manual coding in order to integrate your test data with the test script, right? Okay, so moving on to the slide number 8 now, which talks about